Hello, 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 everybody. Going live for Go Imagine office hours. Setting things up. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hello, Michelle. You made it. Welcome. What's up, DIYer girl? Hello. I think we did things a little bit differently today. Normally, we pre-schedule these lives on YouTube. I'm just going directly live, seeing who's going to show up. What's up, Ryan LaMonica, Robert Boucher? Hello, hello. I want to thank you all for joining me. Hooked by Ronald. Howdy. So, as usual, I'll get started like I always do. What's up, Talia? My name is John Lincoln. I am the founder of Go Imagine, and this is Office Hours. Office Hours is nothing more than a time to talk with all of you for a half hour about any subject you'd like to talk about. We always like to talk about how to use Go Imagine, how to set things up. Over the past few weeks, we've always had different new makers join us. So we've gone through setting up shop. I like to talk about some updates that are happening when they're happening, and answer any questions you all might have. What's up, Jackie? Uh, so let's start with do we have anybody new here today? Do we have any new makers that have recently joined Go Imagine? I like to welcome our new makers. Everyone can say hello. What's up, Vicky? And then we can also discuss maybe a little bit for you on how to set up shop. I'll go through that anyway. Um, Hooked by Ronald. I can't remember if have you been on another webinar before. And Vicky Waltman. I tend to recognize some of these names that are our repeat viewers, and then there's always some new names as well that I'm recognizing. Michelle Brooks, are we getting video in our listing soon? Semi soon. It's something I know that's on our product roadmap. I can't guarantee when that's going to come out though, because I know some people want to get videos updated in their listings. So let me start with hello from Command. What's up, mommy homemaker? Um, let's start for a moment about getting started with our help center. Let me show my screen. We always have people watching these recordings, so I like to also cover things for those who might be watching. Mielo, I usually just lurk. Well, thank you, Mielo, for actually saying hello. I know some people like to lurk and not say anything, which is totally fine. You're for anyone else who's lurking right now, that is more than acceptable. Lurk away. So yeah, so let's talk real quick about setting up shop for anyone who's new or anyone who's watching this recording in the future. We always like to talk about people getting started with our help center. To get to the help center, you can go to the help.goimagine.com. You also can go to the help center by directly through the dashboard. So if I log into the dashboard here, you're going to see there's a little question mark in the top right. That's an easy way to get directly into the help center. So let me log in. So you'll see right at the top here, we have a little question mark that you can click, and it's going to bring you directly to the help center. Now, once you're in the help center, it's pretty straightforward to get going. You want to start with the getting started section. And the first article in the getting started section is our getting started checklist. Um, there are 7 simple steps to go through in terms of the checklist. The first one is filling out your About Us section. This is all about you, and we talk about this almost every week, where I preach that you're selling yourself as much as you're selling your products. That's why people buy handmade. They want to buy from a human. They want to buy from someone who's put their blood, sweat, and tears into the product, or I should say, blood, sweat, and love into the product. Hopefully, not tears. And this is where you can shine. So with the about section on top of obviously your shop name, adding in a shop tagline in a shop announcement is where you can add more information about your shop. But then you also have your maker profile picture and your maker profile. This is where you really want to take your time to describe yourself. Tell people a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from, why you make the things you make. It can be just about your shop and your products, but sometimes people like to hear about a little bit of yourself. Like, you own 3 dogs, you live on a farm, and you're in the Midwest, or whatever you want to say. It gives a little more personality to who you are and what you're selling. Now, on top of the written stuff, which is about who you are, you want to think about building your brand. The brand is really where you can shine in terms of being professional. So you can, in our system, upload your own shop banner. We have recommended sizes here. So uploading your shop banner, uploading your logo for the shop, and uploading your logo for your invoices uh, helps you brand your website. So when people come to your shop, it really has your essence to it. Along with that, you can add social media and outbound links. This is where you can enter links for people to find you off our platform. We are very promoting you wherever you might be. So you can add your Instagram links, your Pinterest links, a blog that you've written, your Facebook links, whatever you want to advertise, you can add here. And then people are directed to connecting with you off of Go Imagine as well. And that's how you can build your follower base. Payments is probably the most important thing. If you want to get paid, we do integrate with Stripe. That is our payment provider. So you have to set up a Stripe account, which is free. You don't have to pay for Stripe. And then we have a help article here on how to link Stripe, which is only a couple of steps on linking Stripe so that you can get paid. If you want to sign up for text alerts so that when you get orders, you get texts, you can certainly sign up for that. Setting up your shipping. We have help articles here on shipping. I will tell you that by default, shipping is set up already for real time, USPS. So if you do nothing on shipping, you don't have to do anything. You can just start adding weights to your products and automatically it'll calculate what the shipping rates are. If you want to create your own flat or tiered rates, you can do so within our system. Shop policies is where you have the ability to put your terms and conditions, your return policies, your processing time, care instructions, basically anything you want your customers to know about your shop that's more terms and conditioning. And after those 7 steps, you've got most of your shop set up. This is where, okay, now you're ready to start adding products. We often recommend not adding products before these 7 steps because that's like adding products to an empty store. It's just all you're getting right now is a square box of an empty retail shop, and you just don't want to start adding products onto the floor. You want to start creating things for the brand and for the shop before you start adding products. Now, to get you started, we do have an Etsy product import. This is where you have the ability to download your products from Etsy as a CSV file, email us that file, and we will import them for you. So we do the heavy lifting for you. All you have to do is get us your file, and we will do the import, which is pretty helpful to a lot of people. It gives you really gives you a head start. It gives you the ability to get all your products added to Go Imagine, where you then just have to tweak them. All your pictures come over, the shop, the product title, the product description, all of that comes over. The only things you have to tweak are going to be options and variations. Those do not come over. So you would have to add options and variations to all of your products and then assign them to the correct categories, which categories in Go Imagine they're assigned to. If you desire, we do an Etsy review import. This is where you have the ability to download your reviews from Etsy, send them to us, and we will help you import them. There is a cost to the review import, not a cost to the product import. So the review import is $10. That's because we take the time to validate they are real reviews and proper reviews because we don't want people uploading fake reviews into our system. And if you're a Mosaic customer, meaning if you have your own website through us, for those who don't know Mosaic is the ability to have your own custom domain with your own custom website. You still have to go through these 7 steps because this sets up both sides of the shop. But then there's 3 more steps for you to customize Mosaic even further. This is where you can set your featured products for your Mosaic site on how you want to curate your homepage. The custom shop categories, this exists on the marketplace too, but definitely something you want to consider on the Mosaic side. You can do additional custom banners to further customize your website. Create a matching theme in terms of color scheme, so your buttons and your links all match the branding that you have. And then, of course, setting up your own custom domain. So instead of going to goimagine.com/shop name, you can buy a custom domain and we can connect it for you, at which point you have your own custom website. An example here would be if you go to wildgatherings.com. This website right here, you would have no idea if you were a shopper that this is a Go Imagine website, because you're going to wildgatherings.com. It has all the Wild Gatherings banners and logos and branding. The only way you would know this is a Go Imagine site is at the bottom here. It says powered by Go Imagine. Everything else here is custom designed by, in this case, Wild Gatherings. DIY girl, I sell mainly bags and stuffed animals. I have been taking pictures of construction in progress. When posting my product, is there a place where I can post those pictures? It helps tell my story. So yes and no. So we do have a section here. If you open, so the how it's made is you can describe what it is you make and how you make it. So they can understand like what goes into the making of the products. We did have the ability to upload pictures here. Um, I don't think that I think when we moved over to our new dashboard, that ability was taken away, but you can always add the in progress photos. I would say at the end of your products, kind of like we're here. In this case, Shirley, she adds examples of the various materials that can be chosen from and the materials that are used. You could definitely add a photo where you can even in the photo put in progress on the photo. And then one of the last photos, I would say, in progress, and add a photo of the product being created in progress. So I would make it one of the last photos, the last couple of photos, and maybe write in progress on the photo itself. That would give you the ability to let people know, like, hey, this is what it looks like as I'm making the product for you. And then in the how it's made section, definitely describe your process and what you have going on. And I love how Shirley here actually has a picture of her making the products. So this really like hits home how handmade the products are. If there are any other questions, feel free to chime in. In terms of setting up the shop, uh, there's two ways to get to the dashboard. You can go to the bottom of Go Imagine and click on seller dashboard.goimagine.com, and that'll bring you to your shop's dashboard to set things up. So, is there a limit to the number of photos you can upload? I don't think there's a specific limit. We'd recommend up to 10. I wouldn't upload too many over 10, because if you do too many photos, it's going to take longer for the product to load. But 10 is probably the recommended most I would add for a product. 10 photos. And yeah, the green bead, we used to have the ability to do the how it's made section with photos. When we created the new dashboard, that went away. It's something we're thinking about bringing back. As terms of updated variation and quantities, it's something still being worked on. It's not ready for prime time yet, Talia. Hmm. Let's see here. What else can we discuss? There's not a ton of new stuff this week. I think though that let me see here. We have been developing. We had a release later last week, which did some more bug fixes and some updates. Um, One section you'll find we have to upload our help articles. We now have the outbound links, and this is where you can add your outbound links. In fact, I've got the green bead here. One thing to mention is that it's important to have the HTTPS, or it won't show the actual icon. So you need to put the whole link into the outbound links section. Otherwise, it's not going to show everything. So don't just put in this case, reddit.com, put your entire link here, and that'll actually pull the entire icon onto your page. So an example here would be if I now go to fancynancy.com, when I scroll down now, you're going to see, it has the 4 icons it's pulling automatically. In this case, Facebook, Reddit, Google, and Pinterest. Then you can certainly decide which ones you want. But again, you want to use the entire link, not just the like google.com. You want to have the HTTPS. So that's something that we launched last week for our outbound links. You can add multiple links. You can do 5, 6, 7 links. So if you have many different areas, and this shows up in 2 places. This is at the bottom of your Mosaic site. Also, if you go to the marketplace site, you're going to see it shows up right in the header here. So you have 2 places that you can put your icons for outbound links. Carla. So right now we've got about around 7,000, a little more sellers on the platform. So there's about 7,000, maybe 7,500 sellers on the platform. Buyers, I can tell you we get 100,000 unique visitors a month. It ranges 130, 140,000 unique visitors. So a unique visitor is someone who comes to the site, but could click on multiple links. So we've got well over 1 million views, but views you don't count. You can count unique visitors. So if you do the math there, if our 7,500 sellers visit once a month, or once during the month that we track, you take those away, and yeah, we've got about 125,000 potential buyers that are on the site every month. Talia, you said, can you drop the link for the map of all sellers in your local area? I lost it. You're talking about the pins, like when we had the pins of all the maps. The the Do we still have that? That was a while ago. We did that map. We could do it again. Let me see if I have that. We'd have to update it though, because at one point we had a Google map where it pinned all of the sellers in your area or in the United States, where you could zoom into your area and see who's around you. Let's see here. I'm going to try to find the link because I definitely had the link somewhere. I'm looking right now. Let's see here. I have interesting. I think I might have found it. So this is old. This is outdated. This is from a last edited. So we did this a year ago. So this is a year old, but this was the map that showed most of our vendors that are all over the country. But I think this only showed up to 1,000. I remember we looked at this and it wasn't showing all items 2,000. So this is only showing 2,000 of them. There was something with this map, and I'd have to look into it on why it didn't show all 7,000, because it was nice for people when we shared this before to zoom in. Like, if you're in Virginia, you can zoom in and see the other sellers in Virginia that are also on the on Go Imagine. Yeah, Talia. This map only showed up to 2,000. So I can if this is something people want to see, I can do more research on updating this and also try and see if we can find a way to show all 7,000 because then you have the ability and and all it did was it showed based on the city and state. So it didn't show the address. It was only showing the city and state. So this is Foxwood Creations in Bartelso, Illinois. You've got Chris and Carrie's from Armello, Texas. You've got, P&K Treasures from Killington, Vermont. So if you zoom in, I just saw the green bead. Oh, it just disappeared. I'd have to find you again. You were somewhere over here, Catalia. There we go. This is it. Nope. Ah. Yeah, we have to zoom further into you in particular, Talia. Yeah, Talia, you mean like so people who have active products on the site? We could potentially do that because like this is all our active sellers. But to your point, there are some sellers that might not have any products that are active on the site. So we would have to filter that down to just the sellers that have active products. Mhm. So you're somewhere around here, Talia, right? I have to hunt you down. Yeah, this is DIY girl. This is kind of a fun map to see that we've got Go Imagine sellers all over the place, and it's interesting of sellers in Colorado right here that are right down from Boulder to Denver. Do you live near the lake, Talia? How close to the lake? There you go. I found you. There we go. We hunted you down right by Racine. There we go. I found the green bead. That's got to be beautiful in the nice weather. It's got to be freezing during the cold weather. There we go. The green bead. We know where you are now. At least we know the approximate area. This just means that you're in Racine. Doesn't mean that you're exactly here. You're somewhere in this area. The Kate Kelly shipwreck of 1867. Google Maps is insane. It can you know, see everything on the planet. All right. Are there any other questions? Could you scroll to Seattle? Sorry, I just saw that. Yeah. So up here we've got Washington. If I pull over to Seattle, you've got here this kind of you got a pocket of makers all in Seattle right here. And again, these aren't all the makers. This is an old map, but you can see we've got makers all over Tacoma and Seattle. Yeah, no problem. If we zoom in, you get to really start to see the different towns they're in. Do, do, do. So yeah, this webinar we didn't have a lot to go over today, but as I mentioned, I would let me see, Erwin. Let me see if I can update this map because this map is old. Let me see if I can update it, and then we will maybe we can share it again. It'd be fun a fun map to share again that we shared over a year ago. Wyoming is light. We don't have a lot of people in Wyoming. Ryan, got to get the word out in Wyoming. Yeah, we've got a couple in around Casper, Wyoming. We have some down in Cheyenne, if I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, Wyoming is light. Now there's probably more here now because again, this is an old map. So let me update this. I'll write a note too. So I'm going to try and at some point this week update this map and we can share it out. Yeah, Montana's light as well. I mean, this area of the country obviously is extremely rural and not nearly as many makers as you see. I mean, you get to areas of like San Francisco or, down towards LA and Santa Monica. There's pockets in like Texas that I know are very popular. You see like Fort Worth is just covered in them. And then the East Coast seems to be very, very populated with sellers. All right. Well, anyway, I want to thank you all for being here. I know that this wasn't thrilling office hours. I'm here to always talk with anybody about everything and anything you want to talk about. More than anything, I want to thank you all for being on the platform. This doesn't exist if it's not for you. So thank you for being here. As always, I think we're on to something special. We continue to donate to charity. We continue to sell to people all over the United States, and more makers are joining every day. So, Erwin, is there a way to get CSV files of orders? I will. Yeah, I can answer that question real quick. So, not in the new dashboard, but we do have in the legacy dashboard the ability to export orders. So the way to get there is, let me make sure you can see my screen. Up at the top right here in the new dashboard, you can go to you log into our legacy dashboard. You'd log in with the same credentials. And if you log into our legacy dashboard, up at the top here, you have administration, export. Oops, I'm going to click over it. Administration, export, and you click on orders. And this will be eventually built into the new dashboard. But here's where you can create your own report. You can do some reports here that are you can save layouts. So if you want to have the same report you run once a month, it's up to you. But here's where you can decide, what fields you want to come out in the order. If you want, the address, the amounts, the shipping address, things like that. You can choose how you want it to come out. I think comma is the one that you want, CSV delimiter, where it populates as a CSV. Output direct download is what you want. Direct download means it's going to directly download that Excel spreadsheet. Then you would just click export and it would export all of the orders. So that's the best place to go for that. So I hope that helps you, Erwin. Thank you everybody for being here. I am here every Wednesday at 1:00 Eastern time. I'll be back here next Wednesday. I might not be here. I'm going to be, it's a school break. Yeah, that's right. So it's school break next week for my kids and we're all going to New Hampshire for a few days. So next Wednesday, I won't be here. So every other Wednesday, I'm here at 1 p.m. Eastern. Won't be happening next Wednesday because we have, I'll be gone for the week. But the week after that, I will be back and definitely join us. And if you have any questions, please let us know. All right, everybody have a wonderful week. Thanks now. Bye.